What was the mecca of autographs ever? What was the biggest thing ever in autographs in Toronto?
Like as far as the store wise?
I'm gonna just like getting autographs. What was the biggest thing ever?
Like
I'll give you a hint. 1991.
Oh, as far as like the All-Star game?
All-Star game weekend.
That's true. And I actually went to the Pittsburgh one years later.
Okay, and
it is unbelievable. Like the Fan Fest.
Yeah.
And I got tickets to the after party.
What after party?
Like after the home run derby and all that. But before, because the game is like when it's played, but before that they have the whole weekend going.
Yeah.
And as kids, we wouldn't have known this back in the day. But it's a whole weekend. Like they made the Futures game where the prospects are playing. Then they have the home run derby. Then they have the game the next day. But there's an after party, and if you're lucky enough to get those tickets, those players are everywhere, and it was like the most amazing thing. That's right, and I appreciated it as an adult, and then remembering as a kid, and wow, like just. And any kind of sports All-Star game and All-Star game weekend.
Well, because they're happy. They're not, and there's no there's literally no pressure in an All-Star game. So I think the first couple days was just like fun events and meet some celebrities. But then at the game itself, well, there's the Ken Griffey Jr. story, right? I got 2 Ken Griffey Jr. autographs. But all the players are in a good mood. They're like chilling out. They're with their buddies. They're with their all-stars. So that's a great tip of, hanging out with them in places where they're just like loose and whatever. And also like, don't disturb them in the middle of their meals and stuff. Cause that's kind of, which you can't blame them for.
But if you have a cool piece of memorabilia also, like for example, you got a cool 8x10 picture, it's not a bad idea to bring doubles with you because what will happen from there is if the player wants it or you offer it to them,
I've never done that.
I've had a couple so I remember Curtis Joseph, the hockey player, I had an 8x10 that he never had before. And he goes, "Can I have your 8x10? I said, "Absolutely. Can I get a stick sometime?" He goes, "Well, that's not a very fair trade, a stick for a photo." I go, "But wouldn't you want a fan to have a stick of yours?" He goes, "In theory, yes." And then he still signed. He says, "Here, I'll just sign your picture." He didn't want it.
Wow,
that's okay. I still got the autograph.
Yeah, I know, but like, what a negotiation with a kid.
But I missed the Ken Griffey Jr. signing. I was working that day when you got to go meet Griffey at the All-Star game. But I went down to the Hilton Hotel after the game, and the first team in was the Texas Rangers. And you couldn't go, so I went. I stood up in the lineup. I got Nolan Ryan's autograph.
I don't think I've ever met Nolan Ryan.
Nolan Ryan was awesome. Nolan Ryan lined them up like cattle, and everybody gets one autograph. He had his rules.
Yeah, listen.
If you butt in line, if you come back for a second autograph, I stop the line. Everybody loses.
Oh my God!
So he was very specific in an orderly fashion.
Great.
But he was a cool guy. He always signed. So as I'm waiting, I just show up there and I'm looking in the corner. So you're not allowed to go inside the hotel. I see Rafael Palmeiro, the one of the greatest sluggers of all time. A little bit of controversy, but that's all good.
Yeah. And
what is he doing? He's going to go get a haircut at the Hilton Hotel. So I'm waiting at the exit right outside where the Starbucks, it was a different coffee shop at the time. And he's getting his haircut. And as I see him finish the haircut, I bolt in. And I had your baseball. You had an all-star baseball you gave me. And you said, if you can get it signed by somebody, do it. So I said, okay, Palmeiro's a good one for an autograph. So I come up to him and he looks at the ball and he goes, "This is an all-star ball." I go, "Yes, it is. I promised somebody an all-star ball and they didn't get it to me. Is there any way I could have it?" I said, "Absolutely, you can have the ball. Can I have a bat, please?" And he says to me, well, the same thing as Joseph said, I don't think a bat for a ball is a good deal.
I love it. More lawyer negotiations. I love it.
I said, "But wouldn't you want a fan to have a bat of yours?" He goes, "You know what? Can you make it to..." So this was a Friday game. He goes, "Can you make it over to the game tonight?" I said, I absolutely can make it to the game. No problem.
Wait a minute. You didn't say... is there any way you can get me some tickets to the game?
No, I already had the tickets.
Okay.
So he says, meet me at the dugout at batting practice. I'll see what I can do. So I give him the ball. I don't have any deal with him really.
This is huge.
This is big. This is bigger
and
than...
especially I can't emphasize for a 12-year-old kid to give up, I think they were $10 to $15. MLB balls were 10 and
the All-Star game was 15 or
20 maybe even. To give up that to Palmeiro is like huge.
And it wasn't even my ball. It was yours.
Wow. I would have come after it.
So I come down to the game and I come to BP and he's hanging out with, and he looks at me, he waves me over and he says, listen, kid, I don't have any cracked bats yet. I go, I'll take an uncracked bat. That's fine. He goes, I'm still on the road. I can't do that. We're leaving on Sunday. Can you make it to the Sunday game? I said, I can't, and I don't have tickets. Okay, go write your name and everything. I'll have tickets waiting for you at the front desk.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, I don't remember this.
So now here's the true story of it.
Hang on, is this All-Star Game weekend?
No,
this is the Rangers.
All-Star Game's finished.
Okay,
All-Star Game is long done.
Yeah.
Rangers are the next team in town.
Okay.
So Friday game is the next game
okay,
after, and he can't give me the bat. So I get the tickets for the Sunday game. The tickets were actually up in the nosebleeds. It was row 1, but I had a fear of heights, and I didn't love it. Plus, how am I going to get the bat?
Yeah.
So I snuck down, and I sat in the seats right by the clubhouse.
Dugout, yeah.
5th inning, Palmeiro flies out, does the walk, looks over, he goes, 1 second. He goes down to the clubhouse.
That's great.
Hands me the bat.
Were people like
freaking out, like absolutely losing their minds. Everybody's losing. And I brought the bat tube already. I had a bat tube ready to go.
Brought a bat tube.
I slide that bat boy right in the bat tube. And then after the game,
Autograph.
down to 0-0. Yeah. Haven't been to 0-0 in a while. And when I'm down there, I'm waiting. They said, sir, you cannot be down here. I said, I'm with Mr. Palmeiro, actually. He asked me to wait for him, and this is his bat.
And, that's a pretty compelling argument.
That's a great argument.
Yeah.
It worked.
Yeah.
He came out, signed it beautifully.
Did he sign the top, above the, horizontally or vertically?
Right near his name there, he signed it in the Sharpie.
Okay. Silver Sharpie?
Silver Sharpie.
Okay.
But me being ADD as I am, as far as, attention to detail and, it got cut off, the autograph.
Yeah.
And I stared at that thing for 2 years.
Okay, I remember
It bugged me to the point.
Yeah.
I took the rubbing alcohol.
Yeah.
I took the risk. I took out the autograph.
Yeah.
It left no residue. I was so lucky. Went back to meet him when he was in Baltimore. Told him that the autograph smudged. Can he re-sign it? And he did.
Wow.
Palmeiro was a great guy.
Can I ask you, did you tell me this Palmeiro bat story at the time?
I told you some variation of it so that you would not take the bat because really it was your ball.
No, it wasn't really my bat. You gave me what I gave you, so it wasn't.
You got back a ball or equivalent money with no autograph, and I walked away.
And you just said I just connect. He was a nice guy, and he gave me a bat, but it wasn't like.
I figured since it was your ball, you'd demand the bat, and I didn't want to give up the bat. And the bat
we might have argued about that. I don't know.
The bat is still hanging up in my collection as I speak.
Thank you for enjoying today's episode of the Chosen Life podcast. Go ahead and hit the subscription button below and the notification bell to catch all of our great shows. And remember to contact the Chosen Lawyers when you are ready for your next real estate and commercial transaction. Go to kormans.ca.